Recent researchers have shown that number talks can help students understand the math they are learning. When teaching the subtraction of a two-digit number from a three-digit number, you can use a number talk to talk about the many strategies that students can use. The first strategy that students can use is called counting up. The Elementary Mathematics for Teachers textbook talks about counting up on page 21. Counting up is when you find the difference of a subtraction problem by starting with a smaller number and adding small amounts until you get to the bigger number. This way, it's easier to do mentally. When teaching this in a classroom, I would use a number line. I have the problem 321 minus 45. I started with 45 on my number line, and I added 5 to get to 50. I then added 50 to get 100. Then I added 200 to that 100 to get to 300, and then I added 20 to the 300 to get 320, and then I added one more to get the 321. All these numbers that I added, I could easily add in my head. I then added up these numbers that I added earlier to get the total. So 200 plus 50 plus 5 plus 20 plus 1 equals 276. So I know that 321 minus 45 equals 276. Another strategy that students might use is called compensation. The Elementary Mathematics for Teachers textbook talks about compensation on page 22. It defines it as adjusting the minuend and the subtrahend by the same amount to make an easier problem. I took my same problem of 321 minus 45 and I added 55 to both sides. I added 55 to both sides because I knew that if I added 55 to 45, I would get an easy 100. Because I added 55 to 45, I knew I needed to add 55 to 321. I got 376. I then had the problem 376 minus 100, which I could do in my head and I knew was 276. A third strategy that students might use is place value thinking. This strategy helps students think about rebuilding by having them break apart the minuend and the subtrahend into tens, hundreds, and ones. I have the problem 321 minus 45. I broke the 321 up into hundreds and tens and then ones, which gave me 320 plus 1. I then, since the 45 does not have any hundreds, I just broke it into tens and ones. So I had 40 plus 5 is the 45. I then subtracted my hundreds and tens minus my hundreds and tens. So I have the 40 from the 45 taken away from the 320 from 321. 320 minus 40 equals 280. I then took away my ones. So I have 1 minus 5, which gives me negative 4. This negative 4 is what tells me I need to subtract 280 minus 4, which gives me 276. The Elementary Mathematics for Teachers textbook talks about place value thinking on page 23. All these strategies are strategies that students can use when doing number talks for subtracting a two-digit number from a three-digit number.